In today's wrap-up, a record 697 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed. The public must now always wear masks when in open-air spaces. An Armenian factory will start production of Kalashnikov rifles, and the US Commission on International Religious Freedom has expressed concerns about attacks on Armenian churches in Turkey. A record high 697 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Armenia, raising the total number of cases to 11,221. 14 more recoveries were also reported and 6 new deaths. This comes as Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has been urging people to observe social distancing and follow government guidelines. He recently confirmed that he, his wife Anna Hagopyan, and 3 daughters had tested positive for COVID-19. He also stated that they are all still in good health and not experiencing outright symptoms. He did state, however, that the health system is becoming overwhelmed by the steep rise in new cases, with the amount of ventilators and ICU beds available significantly under strain. Deputy Prime Minister Tigran Avinyan, who is also the commandant of the state of emergency, has announced that the public is required to wear facial masks at all times when in open-air public spaces. Exceptions will apply only to children under the age of 6 and those doing exercise or cycling. Previously, wearing a mask was only mandatory when entering a closed public space or in vehicles, but people had to carry a mask on them at all times and could face a fine of around $30 if they were found to be flouting the rules. Businesses and other entities operating in closed spaces must also deny access to people who are not wearing masks when indoors. This comes as the government is attempting to enforce stricter regulations in order to avoid a second lockdown, as well as a result of the success of countries that enforced mandatory mask-wearing rules like Austria. An Armenia-based company will start producing Kalashnikov AK-103 rifles from July. A contract has been signed between Natron Gam OJSC and the Russian Kalashnikov Group, with the contract being valid for a period of 10 years. Parts will be sent from Russia and then assembled in Armenia to create the infamous rifle. Later, production of the rifles will also take place in Armenia. Armenia imports thousands of military-grade weapons from Russia and has been looking to start domestically producing weaponry, with Armenia itself considered one of the most militarized countries in the world. Concerns have been raised about attacks on Armenian churches in Turkey by the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. Recently, an Armenian church in Istanbul was vandalized and had a cross ripped off it by a man who was caught in the act by CCTV. Moreover, another man tried to set fire to part of another church before that. The Hrant Dink Foundation was founded after the murder of Turkish-Armenian journalist Hrant Dink and has also been receiving death threats, as well as threats against his widow Raquel Dink. In a post on Twitter, the commission wrote, "We are concerned by reports of attacks on Armenian churches and threats against the Hrant Dink Foundation, which is contributing to a sense of fear among minorities." One man in Konya was arrested under suspicion of sending threatening messages to the foundation, and Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu visited the Armenian church that was vandalized. And finally, ՍիվիլNeթ's Garin Harutyunyan ventured to the town of Alaverdi in the northern Armenian region of Lori. We'll leave you with a series of photos he took whilst holidaying in these pleasant green pastures of this picturesque corner of Armenia.